Hi everyone, my name is Katie Day and I'm the Education Programme Lead at Anthony Nolan. This workshop is all about our education scheme for 16 to 18-year-olds, which is called the Hero Project. I'll just be giving a short overview in this session, but if anyone does have questions, if you'd like to find out more or even get involved in the Hero Project, please do get in touch with me. You can email education@anthonynolan.org and I will pick up the message. I'm just going to share my screen now and walk you through a few slides that will tell you all about what our programme does and why it's so important to helping Anthony Nolan recruit important younger donors. So what is the Hero Project? Well, it is our national education programme. We run the Hero Project across the UK. It's run and funded by Anthony Nolan, but it is delivered in collaboration with NHS Blood and Transplant. And we do that because through the Hero Project, we don't just educate young people around stem cell donation, we actually educate them about blood and organ donation too. So we provide an introduction, if you like, to the concept of altruistic donation at a point in their lives when young people are becoming eligible to actually sign up as potential lifesavers through one of these three methods. We do our awareness raising and our education mainly through presentations. So these are delivered largely in schools and colleges, although we do work with youth groups too. And most of our presentations are delivered in person. We had to deliver virtually last year because of the pandemic, but we are moving back to delivering in-person talks. We can also still deliver virtual talks. And in some cases, we actually send recordings or resources to schools so that they can deliver them themselves. So there are a number of ways that we can actually get our education messages out there. The goals of the Hero Project are really simple. It's to make young people aware that they can actually save a life, because at 16, many people are not aware that this is something they can do. We want to give them the facts about what being a donor actually involves, why it matters, to explain the need for donors, and we encourage young people to go away and think about what they've heard. So we do want to inspire them to consider signing up, but we also want them to be making informed choices. So we do find that when young people do decide after a Hero Project talk to join a stem cell register or the organ donation register, the feedback we get is that they're very committed. They're actually sure about that decision. They've had a chance to think about it. They've importantly had a chance to talk to their family and friends about it. So not only are they making a decision for themselves, they're also really great advocates for donation in their wider friendship groups, and also they help to start those conversations and change ideas around donation with their families and older relatives too. So how does the Hero Project work? Well, we educate. That's the first thing. So we do our presentations or we share our self-delivery resources to schools. Now, the people who deliver our presentations virtually or in person are our wonderful Hero Project volunteers. They are mainly community volunteers who support Anthony Nolan, but we also do have some Marrow groups and Marrow volunteers as individuals who give Hero Project talks. Quite often, we've got around 30 minutes to deliver our sessions, usually in an assembly setting like you can see here. And it might be a smaller group of students, or it might be up to 200-300 students in a large sixth form. We do only do our talks to sixth form post-16 students because they are the ones who are actually able to and eligible to join the registers. So once we've done that awareness work, we've planted the seed, we've given young people the idea that this is something they can do, we've given them the opportunity to ask questions, and we know that many of them will want to sign up to the stem cell register. So we do follow up with recruitment activity. Now, this might be a recruitment event if the school can host one, and if we have volunteers who are able to facilitate that. If we can't do a physical event, we do now encourage schools to do online campaigns. So we can issue them with their own unique link and QR codes and promotional materials so that they can encourage people to sign up online, and we can track that back to their individual school. One of the key parts of making recruitment successful in schools is involving the students themselves. As Marrowers, you will understand the power of peer-to-peer recruitment and involving the student body in your campaigns. And it's just the same in sixth forms. So what we do after our talks is we ask teachers if there are any students who wish to be school champions. And what this role is very much about keeping the conversation going and promoting the campaign. So if we have an event, the student champions will be given t-shirts and promotional materials and guides, and they will go out and they will explain to their peers that the event is happening, when it is, where it is, ask them if they know about donation, ask them if they have any questions about stem cell donation, encourage them to come along. On the day of the event, they will actually go to all of the places our volunteers are not allowed to go, and they will remind students that the event is on, encourage them to come down and see us. And then after the event, they can, of course, follow up with any of their peers who were not able to come and give them the school's online link to get them to sign up. If we are not doing an event, the school's champion role is actually even more important when it comes to online campaigns, because they can really use their creativity and their knowledge of the school to think of the best ways to share that unique link and QR code and make a buzz around signing up. It might be that they have an Anthony Nolan Day or an Anthony Nolan Week, and they put posters up, they put social media posts on the school channels. There's lots and lots of different things they can do. So we will work and support the school and the champions with that, but it's very much something new that we're trying when it comes to online. And finally, fundraising. So obviously we're a charity, we do need to raise money, and we don't charge schools for delivering the Hero Project, but what we do want to make sure is that they know we're a charity and that it does cost money to recruit these lifesavers to the stem cell register. Once schools have seen what we do, they're often very, very keen to support us financially, but we tend not to ask them up front because it can feel like a lot of asks all at once. So it is a really good way to warm schools up for a fundraising ask, because we are giving them something upfront that they can see the impact of, and they do often want to help us support that if they can financially. So where do we do the Hero Project? As I mentioned, we are a UK-wide programme, but the way that we deliver activity in terms of education is a little different depending which of the UK's nations you are in. So in England, most of the education activity is delivered through the Hero Project, through Anthony Nolan, community volunteers or Marrow groups. But we do have some recruitment partners of Anthony Nolan's who run their own education programme activity in certain areas of England. So organisations such as the Adrian Sudbury Schools Education Trust or the African and Caribbean Leukemia Trust do their own education work in schools before the recruitment events that they hold. In Scotland, we're very lucky to have a great partnership with Scottish Fire and Rescue Service, and they deliver, through their connections with schools, most education activity in Scotland. So their outcomes are very similar to the Hero Project, but they do it through their own network, which is great for us because it means that we're achieving the same goals, but through their organisation. There are some Marrow groups in Scotland who do deliver the Hero Project, for example, Glasgow. And if you are part of a Marrow group that's involved or would like to be involved, please talk to us because there might be an opportunity for you there. In Northern Ireland, Marrow have been absolutely pivotal to helping the Hero Project get off the ground in schools there. Belfast Marrow played an amazing role in actually building up a network of schools that have talks and recruitment from us. So we're very keen to continue that and to grow that. In Wales and the Republic of Ireland, we don't yet deliver the Hero Project. We may in future, but there are some complicating factors around the structure of the stem cell registers and also the blood and organ services, which mean that it's not straightforward for us to just start delivery there, but we may well do that in future. So if you do happen to be in Wales, for example, and you are interested in delivering Hero Project, do talk to us, because there may be a way that we can start trialling it with you, but as a general rule, we're not delivering just yet. So Marrow and the Hero Project working together. This is something that we really see there being a lot of potential for, and we've wanted to make this possible for a long time. But it's all about being flexible, because as Marrowers, we understand that you have lots of commitments. Sometimes availability for you doesn't coincide too well with the timing of school talks, or actually sometimes they're just not located in areas that are very easy for Marrowers to get to. So the ways that we've found that this can work quite well is if you as Marrowers take a lead on the school's activity that you want to do, because you know where you can get to, you know which schools are easy for you, and obviously you know which times you're available. So if you are a Marrow group and you want to do school's activity, that's absolutely great. And we will work with you to train your members to deliver Hero Project talks. We will work with you to identify the schools that you want to speak with and reach out to, and we'll support you with that. We've got lots of resources and templates that we can help with so that you can actually make the contact, deliver the talk, deliver the follow-up recruitment, and kind of look after that relationship with that school as part of your Marrow group activity. But we also know that there are individuals who would like to be involved with Hero Project activity, but perhaps their Marrow group isn't at the stage where they want to take on that whole contacting the school, delivering the talk, delivering the event process. And that's fine, because as an individual, you can still be involved. You might want to deliver talks, in which case we'll train you up. We will put you on the distribution list of talks as an education volunteer, and you can deliver those presentations if you're able to attend them. We are obviously doing virtual talks still now, which we never previously did. And this is something that might work quite well for individual Marrowers, because if you can't travel to a Hero Project talk that we've got booked, then you might be able to cover one of the virtual talks that we have booked, because it doesn't matter where you are in the country or where the school is. So if you're interested in delivering talks, then we want to hear from you. If you are interested in contacting schools, perhaps you're a bit nervous about the idea of delivering talks, but you want to help us reach more schools, then we also want to hear from you. So at the moment, we are trying to balance our capacity for volunteers and delivering talks with the number of schools that we reach out to. But if you have links with schools, if you have thoughts about schools that you would like to get in touch with as an individual or as a Marrow group, then please do get in touch with us on the education@anthonynolan.org email, because then we can actually work with you to see what's possible. And there are benefits to the Hero Project and to Marrow of us working together. So from the Hero Project's point of view, it means that we'll reach more schools. It means that we will potentially have more wonderful, passionate volunteers to be involved. And we will hopefully grow our programme and grow the recruitment outcomes. For you as Marrowers, there's a benefit because it provides your Marrow groups or you as Marrow volunteers with an additional volunteering opportunity. It provides people with an opportunity to develop their skills, for example, public speaking, or communication skills. Those are things that you will work on through the Hero Project. And it also means that you can potentially be inspiring future Marrow volunteers, because many of the students you speak to in schools will be going on to university. They may join Marrow groups, they may even become the people who set up Marrow groups if there isn't one in existence. And we do know anecdotally that young people who hear Hero Project talks, they do seek out the Anthony Nolan brand when they get to university. If they see a Marrow stand, if they see Anthony Nolan, they often go over and they often do want to volunteer. So doing the education at 16 to 18 age groups does benefit the Marrow activity that you might be doing in universities for the future. Now, with the Hero Project, we obviously have lots of resources, we have lots of training that we do, we have facts, we have stats. There's lots of information that we give to our volunteers, to our schools and to our students. But it all really hinges on this idea of audience engagement and the power of a personal story. Because facts can have a really amazing impact. But we know it's proven that people will remember a story better and for longer, more than they will remember a particular number, for example, or a particular message. So we do issue all of this information and our key messages, and it's important that we get those across. But in order for those messages to be heard, for young people to go away from those talks feeling inspired, retaining that information and being prepared to think about it, we need to be making sure we're grabbing their attention and that they're really engaged, that the talks feel relevant to them, that they feel real and authentic. And what makes our Hero Project presentations so successful and inspirational is the people delivering them. It's our speakers. And your story really could save lives as a Hero Project speaker. Some people have a very obvious personal story, and we encourage all of our Hero Project presenters to add a personal dimension to their talk. So they can use case studies of donors, they can use case studies of real people in need of transplants if we have a patient appeal. All of those things help make the talk more relevant, more true to life for the students, and they are really great tools to use. But actually, the students are very much interested in the person who's talking to them as well. They want to know why you care about this cause, why you're here. What's your story? And when you start to tell your story, you can see them connect with you and listen to what you have to say. So some people have a very obvious story, as I said. They may have received a transplant, they may have donated stem cells, they may have donated blood, they might have a connection to somebody who's been in need of a donation. Some of our speakers have said, I don't have a story, I'm not very interested. I just volunteer because I think this is a great thing to do. And I always say to those people, that is an amazing story, that's your story. Because to a 16-year-old, the idea that giving their time to something they think is worthwhile can actually have the impact of saving someone's life is quite amazing. It's inspiring. So if you are a Marrower just because actually you think it's a great thing to do and you enjoy it, that's fine, that's your story. And we do know that students of the 16 to 18 age group, they love having talks delivered by Marrowers because they look at you and they see themselves potentially in a couple of years. They see where they could be. And they're very interested in hearing about, how you've come to volunteer with Anthony Nolan, why you've had that connection and what you've actually got from your experience with Marrow as well. So if you think that you don't have a story to tell, or you perhaps are not someone whose story could save lives, then think again, because all of us have that potential to be able to connect with an audience and really make a difference. As I mentioned, we do have lots of resources, lots of case studies to help with that real feeling and that relevance of the information that we're giving out. To bring the presentation to life, if you like, so it's not just facts and stats and information. And one of the new videos that we have is our assembly video. So it's 3 minutes long. I'm using the stories of real donors, real patients. It explains in a nutshell, if you like, what stem cell donation is all about, why it matters, and how young people can play their part in life-saving. This was developed to be used by Hero Project speakers, but also by youth ambassadors. So people aged over 16 who are volunteering in that youth ambassador role to raise awareness among their peers and to raise funds as part of that volunteering programme. This is a resource they can use. It's also something that we issue to schools where we're not delivering presentations for teachers to use in assemblies or tutorials. There is a 60-second version of this as well, which is great for sharing on social media. And both the long version and the short version are actually available on the Marrow Team YouTube channel. So you can check them out there and you can use them if you want to. I'm just going to play the video now so that you can see what it's all about.
When I was 17, my whole life, my whole world switched upside down as I was told 3 of the worst words you can ever imagine hearing. You have cancer. So I was told, right, you are going to need to look for a stem cell donor, which is what Anthony Nolan does.
I've got no doubt that I wouldn't be here today, alive, if it wasn't for the transplant.
Ava has reached 2 years post-transplant and she is doing absolutely amazing.
I've been on the stem cell register since I was about 18, and when I got a call from Anthony Nolan this year to say that I was a match for someone, I was ecstatic.
I got a call out of the blue to say I might be a match. I was shocked and surprised, but equally I was a little bit excited and I wanted to find out more to see where the journey went.
So the donation's going quite well. There's a big bag of stem cells up there, but you can't really feel it. Knowing that I could have an impact on someone else's life and like give them time or like potentially be a full cure. Knowing that I'm going to be part of that person as well, it's amazing.
When you think about saving a life, it's not just that life that is important, it's just like the friends and family that's also associated with that life.
Making a stem cell donation is quite special because you know that you are the person who is best suited in the world. Everything is anonymous, so all I really know about my recipient is that he's probably mixed Indian, white British, and there's not enough of me on the register and there should be some more.
The weight of waiting for somebody to turn up as my life-saving donor was killing me. My friend who was diagnosed with leukemia had been looking for a month for a donor. She was a white girl, and after that 5-minute chat with the consultant and her parents hugging and crying, she'd found 4 matches. That was 4 100% matches. That was it. Her life is fine. She had a solution. She has a potential cure. And that's what made me realise, why me? My life's not worth as much as a white girl's. Something that I can't change. And that was because of my ethnicity. Being an ethnic minority, it is harder to find a stem cell match, but I didn't realise just how hard. With your amazing help, we can get people onto the register, we can raise awareness, we can ensure that this doesn't have to happen.
Some of you might recognise Annie, who has been involved with Marrow, and she really kindly shared her story, which I think you'll agree has a lot of impact in that video. So that's all about the Hero Project and all about the power of sharing stories and engaging audiences. We have in the live session a breakout activity, which obviously we can't do as a recording, but I wanted to highlight it anyway. Because if you are thinking about being involved in the Hero Project and potentially delivering talks, or even just thinking about how you talk about Anthony Nolan and your Marrow volunteering in your own networks, it might be interesting if you just take a few minutes to really step back and think, why did I get involved with Anthony Nolan? Why do I care so much about this? What do I get out of being involved with Marrow? And then think about how you would explain that if you were delivering a Hero Project talk, or if somebody asked you that question. How would you, introduce yourself and say, yeah, I'm a Marrow volunteer and this is why. And what you'll find is that actually really helps you when it comes to perhaps approaching people about Anthony Nolan or talking about stem cell donation or what you do, if you've kind of stepped back and thought about your reasons. So that might be an interesting exercise. And if you are feeling inspired to potentially start delivering presentations, it's an exercise that I do suggest you really think about, because it will be a key part of the Hero Project talks that you do. So, as I said before, if you want to get involved either in presenting or in helping us to reach out to schools, absolutely please do get in touch. Really keen to chat to anyone who's interested. The email to use is education@anthonynolan.org. It will either be myself who picks that up, or potentially Neela, who is our youth engagement coordinator, and who some of you may well know from her time with Marrow and National Marrow. So she is supporting us in our team at the moment. So one of us will pick up your message and we will get in touch about how we can take things forward with you, and we'll make sure that whatever it is you want to do, you'll get lots of training, you'll get all the necessary resources. And for now, I just want to say a really, really big thank you for watching this video, listening to the Hero Project information, and yes, I hope to hear from lots of interested people wanting to support our work with 16 to 18-year-olds, because although we haven't quite achieved the heady heights of Marrow's number of recruits and donations, we have achieved a lot in 13 years. We've recruited more than 30,000 young people to the stem cell register. We've recruited thousands more to the blood and organ registers, and actually 220 of the young people who signed up to the stem cell register because of the education programme have gone on to donate stem cells and give someone a chance of life. So we're really, really proud of that. In 13 years, that's a great impact to have made, but we know there is so much more potential, and we're really looking forward to working with all of you Marrowers to help make even more amazing things possible.